A mother and daughter taking shelter inside a church in northern Gaza have been killed by Israeli snipers. Some witnesses say the women were shot in cold blood at the Holy Family Catholic Church. One was killed while she was carrying her elderly mother to safety. Since the start of the war, most have been taking shelter inside churches. Leila Moran, a British MP, has relatives that have been living inside the Holy Family Parish Church in Gaza since the start of the war, along with most other Christians in the Gaza Strip. And I asked her when she last spoke to her family.
We last heard from them yesterday. It's worth saying that there is a comms blackout across Gaza at the moment, no internet at all, but also in the escalating violence that we've seen in and around the church. There were two generators that were already not working. The solar panels had been blown out, and the final generator was hit by Israeli forces yesterday. There was a fire. And that one not just meant that there was no electricity at all, but also helped to pump the water around the compound. So the situation, I mean, it's just been awful, obviously. It's been 60 days that they've been there. It's swelled from about 100 people sleeping on mattresses in the Sunday school complex to 300 now. And they are terrified, having on Tuesday seen the bin collector be shot outside. The janitor who was just entering to fix something also shot. The bodies were just laying there for days. And since then, there is a sniper, we understand, that has been firing into the compound. The Vatican has confirmed they've killed a mother and a daughter in this. And they are just in those rooms desperately trying to survive. There's no food, there is no water, and they are scared to even venture outside the door to go to the toilet because they are scared to be killed. So that is where we are currently, and we are very worried for their safety, obviously, as I'm sure any others who have family in Gaza and Palestine more generally are actually as well. Let's face it, it's not good for anybody, but I think that we've got an escalation here. And it's just worth saying, you know, this is a week before Christmas. This is a really important time in the Christian calendar. It makes a mockery of the suggestion that the Israeli Defense Forces are keeping civilians safe. They've known they've been there for a long time. They've been there for 60 days now. There was no prior warning. We don't understand why this is happening. And I would say to Israel, please leave that church alone. Please leave my family alone. And I say to the international community, please call ardently for the immediate ceasefires we need to make this destruction stop, but also to lift the eyes to the lasting peace that Christians are singing about across the world in Advent, in the run-up to Christmas.
Israel's military and its government say they're hunting down Hamas fighters. As far as you're aware, who is inside that church?
My family, Christians, people who sought sanctuary, they've been basically there for 2 months with very few people who they don't know go in and out. And it's worth saying the Christian community in Palestine as a whole, but especially in Gaza, is tiny. They know each other. If there were Hamas tunnels underneath or commanders there, you'd have thought that they would have come to get them before 60 days. But they've decided to wait till now. And there was no leaflet drop. There was no prior warning, as was confirmed by the Vatican when they weighed in yesterday. So I don't know. No one understands why this is happening. But as far as my family are concerned, absolutely not. They have not seen hide nor hair of anyone that they would understand to want to be targeted by the Israeli Defense Forces. We wonder, you know, we know that they've been wanting people to move. They've been trying to get them to move. They've been frustrated that civilians haven't moved. But even under international law, if you tell people to move and they don't, they have every right to stay. You then have to do everything you can to minimize civilian casualties. And in all of this, including, you know, they reported seeing white phosphorus being thrown into the compound. All of this, I will be encouraging my family who are eyewitnesses to report into the International Criminal Court, so that when that is investigated, that they are part of the evidence base.
Well, Christians in the Gaza Strip are a minority. There are only about 1,000 left. In 2007, there were 3,000. Father Gabriel Romanelli is the parish priest of the Holy Family Parish in Gaza, and he says of the Christians who remain, 135 are Catholics. But denominations in Gaza aren't strict, and worshippers can attend several different churches. Christians have lived in Gaza since the first century. They're thought to make up the oldest Christian community in the world. Archbishop Makarios Mavrogiannakis is head of the Greek Orthodox Church here in Doha, and he has spent some time in Gaza. Thank you very much indeed for being with us. Sir, I understand that you have some friends and colleagues who are in the church that we're talking about at the moment. Have you been able to contact them? Have they told you what's happening?
Yes, indeed. I was 1999 and 2000 serving in Gaza as a parish priest, and now I have people that they are inside our Greek Orthodox monasteries and porphyrias. I have some messages. I cannot have a direct contact to them to the last 2 weeks, but we have from some messages I can hear from them that they are alive, but they are in very bad situation, waiting for humanitarian aid. We tried, the Church Steering Committee here in Doha, in cooperation with the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, 2 weeks ago on the Sunday, the 3rd of December, and we have arrived with a military plane to El Arish airport, myself and the Reverend Father Charbel from the Maronite Church, and we have carried humanitarian aid. 3 days after, the Ministry of Foreign Affairs informed me that the aid, it was passed, the trucks that carrying the aid enter inside Gaza.
Archbishop, sorry to interrupt you. I should explain to our viewers, forgive me for interrupting you, I should want to explain to our viewers, top right-hand picture that they should be seeing at the moment is our live pictures from Rafah crossing, and an aid truck has just gone in. And as it passed through the crossing, crowds of people, and I'm assuming this is, of course, is on the Gaza side, crowds of people have jumped onto the truck and are now seizing boxes of aid and simply throwing them into the crowd somewhat indiscriminately. Now, one would imagine this is not part of the standard procedure. My understanding is that these trucks would be offloaded by aid organisations and the aid would be handed out in a more sort of regimented fashion. But it's perhaps an indication of the desperation of many people in Gaza that we're seeing these pictures at the moment. Tell me how, given the level of support and aid that you have been providing, how frustrating is it for you to see so much of your aid on the Egyptian side of the border and unable to get into Gaza at the rate that you would want it to go?
Exactly. I have been around in the big hangars in the El Arish, and I've seen hundreds of trucks. They told me 480 trucks. And that day it was waiting to enter Gaza, and only 70 or 80 maximum can enter every day. And of course, the people, they are desperate, and I have seen those pictures. People that they just if they see any truck going inside, they try to grab any kind of food or water or anything that they need. So it is a picture exactly that illustrates the big need of those people. So this has to encourage and to people to send more support, but also as a pressure to the people that they are controlling the entrance to make easier the procedure, so people, they can receive as much humanitarian aid of food, of some clothes. There is a winter, so it is that they need it badly. So
I would like to ask you, forgive me for interrupting you again, but there is something I do want to get your opinion on with regard to the church that we were talking about before and the Christian community that is sheltering inside that church. The Israeli military and the government say that their goal is to try to defeat Hamas fighters, that they are hunting for Hamas fighters in order to be able to get rid of them. In your understanding, is there any reason why this particular church should be targeted by the Israeli forces?
It was promised that it was not going to be hated, but unfortunately, it was also our church and also the Anglican Church running hospital, the Baptist hospital in Gaza, and many other hospitals and many other worship places. So of course it's not understanding because the people that they are refugees now and shelter inside the church or the as I know, they are only civilian people. They are people that they lost their house, so they are asking a refuge to the church, to the monastery, as the most safe place that they, and the only place that they can stay, because the houses, they are just ruined. So I don't understand why so many children they are victims or lay persons. They are dead and they are affected. So I'm very sorry for that, because I know those people that our community and all the neighbors and the other people, that they are civilians. They are not military, they are not Hamas. But this is the picture, that it is a different picture they have, the Israelis, and this what is promoting.
Archbishop Makarios Mavrogiannakis, thank you very much indeed for being with us.